Okay. 1 second. All right, we're here. I think. I think my camera's a little bit off, but whatevs. Oh, hey, Skeel. Yesterday was a fun one, Skeel. I appreciated you coming in to talk about fitness. Skeel, are you still doing fitness in general? Are you, well, yeah, I guess we haven't really talked about that. Last time we talked about it, you were teaching me about Aziz over on 4chan's fitness board. Ah, hey Omar, hey White Despair, hey Death Ray. Ah, hey Vance. Vance, today's a Thursday. Is Thursday not Critical Role Day for you? Ah, hey White Despair. I would like to ask you the same thing because that's yesterday you said you were getting sicker. Um, I'm trying to think of the answer here, White Despair. I am less snotty, which is good, but now I have a really bad cough. But that's normal for me. Usually when I'm getting better, I'm only left with a cough. So, you know, there's pros and cons pretty much. The cough is pretty dry and it really does hurt a lot. But it's a lot better than yesterday's sniffles and all that kind of stuff, and yesterday's headaches. So I'd much rather the cough than the headaches. Um, so yeah, I think by Saturday, I think I'll be good. And you're feeling better? That's great. That's great. I do hope the trend continues for you as well. Hey, Kayla, and gotcha, Vance. It's on hiatus. Gotcha, gotcha. I don't follow Critical Role, Vance, so it's tough for me here to really know your schedule on that one. It's harder when we're in lockdown, but I'm trying to keep up. Okay, gotcha, Scale. Yeah, Scale, man. Like I've completely fallen off of it. This like over the summer, just completely fell off. Probably got to start back up again. General fitness, but well, maybe that's why I also got sick. Maybe it's just like bad lifestyle choices catching up to me now. Um, I was gonna check. Did the manga today receive their fan translations? I was going to. I'll just check right now. Just give it a quick read through if it's available. Ah, yeah, no, it is available. Okay, so let me just do a quick read through of the manga. Just to make sure. You know, I'm looking at the manga now. It's pretty rude of Class 1A to just forget a critical piece of Izuku's mask. I wonder, would wouldn't Shoto's ice melt completely by now? Eh, how long does it take ice to melt in general? Okay, All Might was saying that he could do nothing when his student was struggling. Yep, pretty much. But we all know why he couldn't do anything. Stain. So just give me a quick second, guys. I'm just going through very quickly. Do. Just doing a quick skim through. I do like how crazy Stain does look at the end of this. And yet, guys, I'm just doing a quick skim just because it's going to take me like 10 minutes to actually read this properly. Yeah, Stain can say that he murdered 40 heroes for the sake of a just society, but that logic is pretty stupid. At the end of the day, he murdered 40 heroes, but a just society isn't that's not going to be what generates the just society. I mean, This is the equivalent of okay. This is actually my favorite example. This Stain is saying the equivalent of a video game villain saying he's gonna kill every human on Earth to guarantee world peace. Like, think about that for a second. Like, yes, killing everyone will guarantee peace, but you're killing everyone. Nah, man. It's unfortunate people get carried away by Stain. That really does go to show you that a lot of people are just impressionable. And man, Horikoshi did his best too to make Stain look so crazy in this chapter. But of course, people are still going to follow him. Alright, cool. Let me just see here. There we go. I got Genshin up now. Alright, let's see. Trip, I don't know if you saw my message, but how do you feel about Zoro being the only Straw Hat to meet Sabo and Ace? What? Do you think Oda did that on purpose? Robin met Sabo. Heck, I mean, like, let's turn it around, Omar. How do I feel about Robin being the only one that's had significant conversations with Dragon? It's an irrelevant point when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. Almost finished watching live. Oh, hey, Speed. Trip, did you get a haircut? No, I didn't. So preview for next episode he released, and Shigaraki's hair is still blue even after crushing the hand. It's so weird. Plus his fingers still being there sucks. Okay, I'll have to look at that myself, Sarge. Very curious to see the official translation. Going off it seems that Stain says some quote, and All Might is shocked that Stain knows that quote, and thus comes to some sort of realization about who Stain is. Really? I was skimming, so I didn't see that. It's the same night, I think, so not much time has passed, plus it's night, so it's probably cold. Sure. I mean, but I wonder, like, how quickly does... It can't be less than 10 degrees, right? I'm just, I was just wondering. Shoto left huge chunks of ice. It'll probably take a week or two to melt since it's only spring in the My Hero Academia universe. Really? Yeah, I don't know weather, man. It just like it seems so odd to me, right, Kayla? It just seems so odd. And hey, sorry, I'm doing a little bit better. Want to see class when I talk to Izuku so bad? Agreed. Killing is always on the table. Chosen X transfer into Weekly Young Jump because Ishida wants to do 18 pages per week. Okay. Cult leaders attract as many people. Yes, I saw Stain as a character from The Giver. You remember that book that was about Utopia where people threw away their memories and were fine with killing babies to save the population? No. I think I've heard about that, but only person to meet Sabo, and Ace. Robin only met Sabo, not Ace. But the Robin thing might have to do something in the future. I don't know. I don't like Omar, from my perspective, I don't fully understand why you're adding so much significance to meeting Sabo and Ace. I just don't see the point, especially with Robin, because like Robin was around, like Robin would have seen Ace. I guess she wouldn't have been in on the whole thing when finding out about Luffy's brother, but I just don't see that as all that significant. It's just strange to me, to make that a kind of importance for Zoro, when there's not really anything aside from emotional value that you can take away from that. And honestly, like, Zoro only has passing glances with these two characters. Why would I care about Zoro meeting Sabo and Ace when Robin's the one that actually knows Sabo's personality, right? Like, this is, it feels kind of sensational to say that he's important for meeting those two when Robin has way more significant. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why Zoro's the one in question when Robin is the one that's significantly more significant in this regard. I mean, aside from the emotional thing, that's the only thing that Zoro really has. But like, yeah, I just feel weird putting that kind of weird significance on Zoro. I've never thought about it, Omar. Killing a problem with activity tempting. All the memories went to the one person so they can enjoy and suffer the memory by themselves, hence the giver. Ah, okay. A hero only exists for the sake of others, but when a god prostrates to the ground lamenting in agony and acquires the weak of heart of a human, then... Who would win, Peacemaker versus Stain? Peacemaker. Peacemaker was awesome. You had... Okay, so that's the line. Let me look for it real quick, White Despair. Yeah, no, okay. I'm just reading one of the lines where like Stain is going in there saying that like All Might kept a smile on his face and set out to protect people. It has nothing to do with his quirk, and it's like All Might's allowed to frown. All Might's allowed to be sad for a period of time. Like, yeah, shouldn't be wallowing in his pity. Shouldn't be like self pity, all that kind of stuff. But All Might's allowed to have a bit of weakness. Okay, I found the line here. A hero only exists for the sake of others, but if a god has fallen from grace and gained the heart of a weak man, or maybe. Yeah, man, it does look like that does look like All Might knows who that is. And I don't think the translation is going to change all that much. Maybe the official translation might give us a little bit of a hint, unless it's a really bad translation. I wonder why that's it. If a god has fallen from grace and gained the heart of a weak man. What kind of philosophy is he trying to go down with that one? If there is a spot here that looks kind of spotty, white despair, it's that or maybe. I don't fully understand where that or maybe comes from. If a god has fallen from grace. I wonder if that's a quote. I don't think it is. I'm just giving it a quick look, but it doesn't look like there is any kind of. Doesn't look like that one's a quote. That's a weird one, man. Thanks for pointing it out. That is a really interesting thing. And again, like there's a, hey birds, there's a little bit of a paradox here, just because like if All Might's a true hero, he doesn't end Stain. He puts Stain away. Yeah, no, interesting, interesting. I don't know. I just think it's weird, and usually Oda doesn't do stuff for no reason. All right, that's. I mean, I understand that. I understand the impulse, Omar, but sometimes Oda does stuff for no reason. I mean, sometimes it just kind of happens. I mean, for instance, do you, Omar? Are you aware of how the One Piece community always says that Gin from the Sanji arc, the Sanji introduction arc, is going to come back? You remember how people are like always hoping for that guy to come back, and it's like he never comes back, and then it's just like adding like this kind of weird significance is just kind of strange. I can't help but find it kind of strange. Um, yeah, no, I feel like the guy is. Yeah, you know what, Omar. I guess it's a weird. It's just different sensibilities. I'm trying to think of other random things that Oda has done. I mean, Oda one like Wano arc started with a weird octopus showing up with Luffy on the beach or whatever. Oh, sorry, it was on the boat, and that was just kind of like a weird little thing there. Any other randomness in One Piece that doesn't really go anywhere? Oh yeah, we had that one guy that was stuck in a treasure chest that we had to spend time with, and that kind of went nowhere. It's just a guy, nothing really important there. We had Foxy. A lot of people feel that the Foxy arc was a filler arc when it's like, no, not really. It was in the manga. So Davy Backfight was there too. Like, there's a lot of instances of just randomness in One Piece. Nah, Omar, you know what though? When you're talking like that, it really reminds me you really are a One Piece fan, because that's pretty much like the the staple of being a One Piece fan. Everything and anything could be a big plot point. Wow, the birds are going at it. Looking at the final pages again, did Stain know about the weak form this whole time? Well, I don't know about the weak form, but like when Stain appears in front of All Might the first time, I think he knows that's All Might, because like the way that he's saying that he doesn't recognize All Might, I feel like he's saying that from the perspective of I don't recognize your ideals, because All Might never frowns or something like that. Like Stain's being crazy. I think he knew that. I think he knew that was All Might, but he was on his he was on his philosophical tirade. Shigaraki nailed Ryukyu to an imaginary cross. Okay. Sup, Trip? Just got out of the movie theater and saw Shang-Chi. Some of the best combat in Marvel. I've heard that. I haven't seen it yet. Also read the My Hero Academia, and seeing All Might in a state actually made me sad. You know, Ty, I don't think I'm sad seeing All Might like this, because a lot of this is just All Might being All Might. Right? Like, I just can't feel bad for a guy that keeps shooting himself in the foot on purpose. That new cover for Masters, though, yeah, that was pretty good. Speaking of Pokemon, they dropped another short on their Pokemon channel. It was dark because they had a little girl cross into the other side, but she escaped. Interesting. Oh, and random, I caught up to Slime. People hate generic protagonists, but hate on characters like Takemichi. Takemichi. What series is that one from, Death Ray? I could see Stain saving All Might from dying because he is a big fan of All Might. I could see that too. I'm really interested to see what exactly the first translation for that part is. Takemichi's too plain for the story he's in. Let's see. So is Stain disappointed that Takemichi? Which one are you guys referring to? It sounds familiar. Oh wait. There we go. Tokyo Revengers. So is Stain disappointed that All Might is no longer worthy in his eyes to kill him? Stain's having Stain is pretty much an ideologue at that point. Like, Stain is just trying to defend just his general idea about what All Might should be. Again, look, Stain ultimately denies the humanity of heroes. That's ultimately what he is. He denies their humanity, and so because he wants the symbol of All Might. That's what he's begging for. He wants the symbol of it. You know, it's gonna be really interesting when it comes to Stain, because I hope people realize that Stain's rhetoric is directly contradicting Ochako's rhetoric. Because you can't have a world that acknowledges the weaknesses of heroes and acknowledges heroes as humans. You can't have that rhetoric exist with Stain's rhetoric. Those two fundamental rhetorics don't fully mesh in. Like, really, with Stain's rhetoric, there's only one tenet of it that actually maybe can fit with everything else. But honestly, like, for Hero Academia fans, it's going to be really interesting. If they agree with Stain fully, 100%, if they agree with Stain 100% and they're fully on the Stain bandwagon, then they are fundamentally saying no to a idea that we spent 3 chapters drilling into everyone's heads. But you know, the Hero Academia fandom isn't a fandom that actually listens to rational thoughts. They just want to chase adrenaline. It's gonna be, if anyone needs me to elaborate what I mean by Ochako's rhetoric and Stain's rhetoric can't exist together aside from one factor, you can let me know. Let's see. Anyway, Stain ultimately still thinks that All Might is worthy of killing him because he ultimately gives All Might the letter and gives him that ultimatum, right? So Stain, got that. To me, it seems like Stain wants to die because he knows he deserves to be punished for his deeds. He probably thinks he's a necessary evil. Oh no, 100%, 100%, 100%, Ty. When he says specifically, everything is for the sake of a just society, 100%. He thinks he's a necessary evil. Now, this is something that I don't think manga readers understand. Just because, okay, so Stain sees the end goal, right? And he wants to get the end goal from the position he's in, and his path to the end goal that he believes is, I'm gonna kill a bunch of heroes, right? Here's the problem with Stain. Stain has shown that he has no good judgment about his projections into the future. You know, we can talk about everything that he does denying the humanity of heroes, but the simple thing is, Stain says Ida will never change, and that's fundamentally false, and that's a projection to the future. So the thing is, like, why would you believe Stain when he's fundamentally wrong about his projections into the future? Heck, I think even Kurogiri back in the day wanted to justify that Stain actually had a positive effect on people, or had a positive effect on the society that he was, or the cities that he attacked. And it's like, bro, obviously, if you have a mass murderer spotted in your city, obviously your crime rate's gonna go down when other heroes show up to look for the mass murderer. There was actually, because at that time they wanted to make a point about how Stain was changing society for the better, but it's like, he's not. All he did was cause more heroes to come to a particular area, which naturally leads to lower crime rates because more heroes are in the area looking for him. So that's just the entire thing with Stain. Stain in his arc looks really good, but if you look at every other instance in Hero Academia, Stain looks like an idiot. And it's unfortunate that no one really plays this game when it comes to like the hardcore Stain fanboys, because the rest of the series is what ultimately says that Stain is wrong on the majority of his points. And I keep saying the majority of his points because Stain might have a point when it comes to heroes or who are in it for just the money. But how do you perfectly categorize a hero who is in it for just the money when you have one of his targets, Native, dying for money, right? Like at the end of the day, Native ran in there knowing that those Nomu were coming out for him. Like Native ran in there knowing that something dangerous was going to be coming out of the ground. He knew about the Nomu, right? So this is the ultimate issue with Stain, and why he really shouldn't be trusted. Who cares if you're talking about a reality if you can't actually reach that reality? At that point, you're just talking about delusion. And Stain is exceedingly delusional. Like when you see his faces here, those are not the faces of a not delusional man. Nah, like it's always just going to be so interesting with Stain. But props to the author. Got a lot of sheeple. I think he's acting the same way Endeavor was when he showed up in Camino yelling at him. Let's see. And yeah, Viz, I'm a little bit better. My voice is a little bit. I just felt it right now. It's a little bit going. Stain is acting like that one villain that wanted Endeavor to kill him and didn't like the change in Endeavor. In a way, I think Stain's a little bit more lucid, though. I think he's a little bit more lucid. Stain should know it's All Might considering he is able to identify that woman as the last person All Might saved. Stain probably saw a video of a Camino incident, which included All Might's skinny form. Oh, yeah. Oh, good observation, White Despair. Shang-Chi is a good movie. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Poseidon Shura is the best new gen antagonist. He's alright, Death Ray. Now she caught up, and Raphael getting upset and then happy with remover is just normal between them. Yeah, it is. He could actually censor this week's episode, which was the same scene last season. Apparently, it was different between funny and TV. Oh, okay. Apparently, after sports, Twitter got into a heated argument. What was the topic? Oh, yes. Why Bakugo, of course. What else would they argue about? Wait, what's the issue with Bakugo? Wait, Bakugo's... Yeah, I think the reason crime rate's lower is because those heroes who remained were the ones that actually care for the job. And many others started to take it seriously in fear of becoming a target. Like, oh, I better become a better hero so Stain doesn't target me. Miguel, now see, this is interesting for me because I'm wondering, why are you adding in so much information? Because we don't actually... Can you tell me if Stain's propaganda actually spread out before the main incident with Endeavor? Can you actually tell me with 100% surety that Stain was actually spreading propaganda effectively before the killer video comes out? Because I'm looking at that, and I find it strange that you go and you add, and you're adding in such extra rationales for the heroes, and you're not just acknowledging the basic reality of having heroes swarm an area. Like, do you see what I'm kind of pointing out here, Miguel? I find it strange that you are ignoring a logical conclusion of having more heroes in an area, and you're adding things that make Stain look correct when there's no indication of that. And it's like, the other thing you add here with your assumption, you say because those heroes who remained were the ones that actually cared for the job. How do you know that? The heroes are always under threat. Like, heroes are dying every year. Are you saying that heroes left the city? But where does that information come from? The only information we know is that crime rates in those areas went down, likely because a known murderer was in the area. I mean, we even see it happen in real time. When these guys know that Stain is active, Endeavor sends his people right into the area. So why is it that we have such a simple mechanism occurring when a known murderer is in the area? We see Endeavor act out on that simple example, and then you come in and you add in the pro-Stain rhetoric. I want to understand that from you, Miguel. Why are you trying to make Stain work in that regard? Chris asked, out of curiosity, do you have any opinions on Deltarune Chapter 2? No, I do not. I might have to also, you know what, Miguel? I might have to also look back at what Kurogiri said about Stain, but I don't think Kurogiri said all that many things. And again, Stain's propaganda spreading. Like, one of the reasons he said he left Ida's brothers alive is so that Ida's brother can spread his propaganda. But we saw that too. Like, Ida's brother didn't spread any of the propaganda. So, ultimately, like, I don't think Stain is that competent to actually be able to spread his propaganda effectively. Like, no one really knows what he's about until we meet him. Kayla said that Stain probably has a cult following, given that he's calling the place a holy land. Agreed. Am I the only one who's freaked out Stain's tongue with all... Yeah. Opinions? No, Death Rat. I didn't read the newest chapter. Stain wants the perfect hero that is only doing to help people. Jackal wants people to see heroes as human too, that they can make mistakes. That's how the idea is different. Agreed, Miguel. Agreed. No, Miguel, like, I want to just say, I actually really liked... One thing I really enjoy about you, Miguel, is because a lot of times you're able to write out all your thought processes. And that makes it a lot easier to understand, like, where you're coming from. I mean, like, from when I look at these kind of theories on My Hero Academia, what I always look at is, like, how many things someone has to add to make it work. And I mean, mind you, sometimes that works because sometimes the author is actually adding that many things. Oh, and hey, Leela, I don't know if I said hey, yeah, when it comes to this one, it's just like, because you have to fill in the blanks so much, it becomes a lot more precarious, because at that point when you start filling in the blanks, it stops being the story that we're seeing and it starts being a little bit of headcanon. And that makes the conversations a little bit harder to just kind of narrow down on. But you know what? Like, Miguel's thought process is probably the thought process that a lot of the Stain supporters have, because the author probably wants this. One of the strongest things you can do when you're writing, and again, Miguel, I gotta say, like, thank you so much for actually writing out your thoughts on this one. One of the easiest things you can do is allow people to fill in the blanks themselves. Because if you start getting into a point where the people are filling in blanks yourselves, like, this really only works when you're like, when you want people to support your series and defend it online. Like, this is the only way it really works. When you have people filling in the blanks themselves, they take more ownership of the story and they start defending ideas more. Like, this is a little bit more about, like, social manipulation and getting people to respond to material. But yeah, if you have a situation where you can get people to fill in the blanks, it's going to cause a lot of interesting reactions. Now, what Miguel says here about Stain picking targets like Native and Ingenium shows how he contradicts himself. Miguel has a really good point here, because I think I understand how exactly he picked Ingenium. I think you have to look at Vigilantes, but I think he picked Ida's brother because Ida's brother has a big agency and he has a big team. Stain has horrible judgment, and we know this from the way that he talks about Ida. But from Stain's perspective, he sees Ida's brother. He sees that Ida's brother has this giant agency. In other words, Ida's brother is part of the commercialized system. And so he thinks, oh, if you have a big agency like that and you're, like, so corporate, you have to be a false hero, so I'm going to cripple you. But when you look at Vigilantes, Ida's brother is the kind of guy that wants to save people as fast as possible because he wants to go on to save more people. If anything, Ida's brother is one of the people going out there to minimize the amount of people who are in danger anytime. And his entire creed when it comes to Ida's brother is based on acknowledging that someone's in danger at all time and that there's not enough people to help. So when you have a guy like Ida's brother, that's the guy that really shows how stupid Stain is. Because Stain ultimately, at that point, if you're looking at vigilantes, you can only really guess that he's looking at very superficial elements. But ultimately, when it comes to Stain, and we see it with Izuku too, you are not a good enough hero until Stain thinks you're a good enough hero. Otherwise, you're guilty. And we see that with Izuku. He didn't think Izuku was a great hero at the beginning. He only thinks it after he sees Izuku do something worthwhile, right? But that's again why Stain is who he is. Knuckle Duster knocked some screws loose and Stain made him worse. Yeah, and also like Vigilantes is actually the one that really makes Stain a lot worse to follow, just because it's like, why would you trust a guy that after fighting the Crawler of all people changes his rhetoric, right? Like, that's weird. That's a crazy person. Nah, man, like Stain's all over the place. Stain's bad idea is what Jesus was talking about when he said not to take out the weeds lest you pull up the weed as well. Oh, Matthew, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's an absolutely good one. Holy crap, that's a really good... That's probably the best analogy we have for it. When you're sorting out the heroes, be careful you... Actually, yeah, man. Matthew, that is a great analogy. You know what? I would love it if My Hero Academia goes and talks about that. Because if My Hero Academia brings in that rhetoric, then we can shut down all the Stain fanboys like right then and there. Yeah, right there. That's the nuance that we would need. Good one, Matt. That's a really good one. Props. Holy crap, that's a really good one. Hey, Zuar. So Miguel went on to say those blanks that people can fill in with their own thoughts serve to increase the attachment as they think that they contribute to the world's lore. We see it a lot in Naruto with people filling the blanks and plot holes. Agreed, Miguel. Totally agreed. Right? Anything. It's like, at the end of the day, I mean, if you were to try and quantify it, yeah, you can definitely call it ultimately an attachment tool, because when you fill in the holes, you're adding in something of yourself into the story, and that makes it feel more yours, right? So completely agreed on that one, Miguel. Completely agreed. Oh, nice for World Trigger, Random. Anyway, I want to say, Random, now that I caught up, I'm happy because there are like a few chunks of information that are missing from Slime. So I'll be happy to try and make a few videos of that once I have more time. Ideally that comes soon, and once I'm fully healed here. But yeah, no, Slime, I marathoned the majority of the episodes today, Random. I watched them at 3 times the speed just to get through them faster, and was able to get through them in an hour, and I'm pretty happy. It's been a while since I watched anime. Aside from the Hero Academia anime, that's the only one I've been actually able to keep up with. Oh, I guess we're pretty close to the next season. Are you guys watching anything in particular for next season? Like, I know I'm going to be watching Tensei and them, but that's all I can think of right now, actually.
Illusion shattered. Leave it up to me. As a good night should. Absorption test.
1 second. I see your guys' questions. I'll get to it in a second here.
Time to go.
And Viz, I think I'm pretty close to getting to refinement 2 on the catch. I think I gotta go get some more fish. But at the same time, we saw how badly that went for me yesterday. Okay, Miguel said, wasn't Stain spying on Izuku and All Might when Izuku left? So he was also looking for them, probably get to see how he followed Nagant or any other assassin's trace to find Izuku. You know what would be really interesting, Miguel? The fact of the matter is that we saw Stain after swimming out of something in a store picking up a sword. So what we know from that is that Stain definitely was not following Nagant 100% of the time. So it's interesting that he was able to find them. Though, It sounds like Stain has been stalking the Holy Land for a few days here. If I'm looking at this translation correctly. Every day she comes by to clean the statue from the anti-hero civilians' vandalism. You know what's actually really concerning here as well? Is that that sign keeps going back up. But yeah, no, it's gonna be really interesting to find out how exactly he followed these two. Horikoshi could have Ibara Shiozaki from Class B mentioned this, being that she's a Christian. Oh, that'd be interesting, Matt. That would be interesting. Like, that would be an appropriate person to bring it up. That'd be interesting, though, man. State needs a publicist to get the message out there, or maybe a dream team that recruits people in need of purpose to join a cause to better society by killing fake heroes. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Mark. Is Slime good this season? I'm like a whole season behind on shows. Sarge, so this season of Slime adapts 12 episodes to one volume, which is like more and more shows are doing this, and I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. For volumes that cover a war, you're probably better off maybe doing the one season, one volume adaptation. So things like 86 and Realist are probably the best ones to do it with. But Slime is really slow for the first 6 episodes, and then when the war starts it gets slightly better. But then unfortunately, I think some of the scenes during the war are just kind of fast, because ultimately when you're reading a novel, the scenes aren't that long when it comes to the fighting, because like Slime isn't a war series. Like, you're not going to get tactics the way you are in Realist or 86. So Slime doesn't really like it's weird. Like, Slime's balance is probably, I don't think, the best. I think you could have probably done away with a lot of scenes and probably stretched out some of the battle scenes. But yeah, it really depends, man. If you're okay with like slow burn for the first half and then like kind of better like fight scenes for the second half, probably be okay. It's just, I think it's a bad strategy. I think if you were to look at that thing, I think you'd see that the non-fight scenes got way more expansion than they would have for how much pages they covered. Like, this one's gonna be hard, Sarge. It really depends on your personal flavor. And Z Killer's watching Jobless. All right. Did you see the latest Marvel What If with Killmonger? Don't want to spoil it, but side with Doctor Strange is my favorite. No, I saw it. I was just, like, one thing I gotta tell you though, Ty. One thing that just makes me just not take What If seriously is just like all these heroes lose their plot armor. Like, it's just these heroes overcome so much in their proper movies, that when you come in and you look at What If, it's like, okay, this is what happens when you take the plot armor off. That's pretty much all that it is. It's just heroes without plot armor. Yeah, that's all I really see here. It's heroes without plot armor. I still like the thing with T'Challa changing Thanos with a talk. That's still just, I would like to see this level of nonchalantness when it comes to a proper movie. The parable is written in Matthew 13:24. Ah. Thanks, Matt. I'm 100% going to bring this up on the video because I think that's actually really super relevant. What are Stain's criteria for being a true hero again? Well, anything that All Might does in his public persona is quality of a true hero. Oh, okay. So, true heroes do not act on baser urges, so you can't act out of anger. True heroes, yeah, pretty much you have to act out of ego. You can't act out of ego. You have to be separated from the ego. What else for true heroes? You have to be doing things not for the money, but for the sake of the job, which I don't know how you properly quantify that, but, I'm sure that Stain found a way. I like the Marvel Zombie one. I really like Marvel Zombies. I would actually be quite alright with just watching like a full season of Marvel Zombies with just different characters getting the victory on, or like different characters surviving. I've really enjoyed reading the DC zombie stuff, so Marvel Zombies, and if you can keep making it creative, I'm 100% all in. Heck, if they could figure out how to manage like a full season long show of, you start out with all the heroes and then you slowly lose them, just with a lot of drama in there, I'd be very invested. I would love to see how heroes deal with all these different zombies in general. What do I need to do today? Viz, what are you working on? If you're still there, Viz.
Animal test 6308. Absorption test. Sync. I must leave no stone. Animal hypostasis emulate. As a dutiful maid would.
Let's see. Obviously, Trip, it's in the eyes how Stain judges. Oh, geez, okay. All right, well, we did talk about eyes yesterday. I guess Stain can see into the soul, I guess. Wow. Stain really is just jury and executioner. Oh, there he is. Let's see. 1 second, guys. I'll read your comments. I saw that Miguel said something there.
There is no escape. Animal test 6308. Stand clear. Absorption test.
I'm kind of sad that we're not getting One Piece this week, man. I really wanted to get more One Piece, but you know what? Oda's health takes precedent. Also, did you guys see the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter? I saw the spoilers for it. I haven't gotten to read it just yet. But man, the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter is like, I don't know, man. Like, right now, I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen is actually like written well in terms of how they're telling the story. It's just so weird. Like, I don't fully understand this this setup just feels nonsensical to me. I've never seen such, well, in my opinion, I think it's just not great setup. Oh, Viz, are you doing any spiral? Like, what characters are you building up? But let me go back and read here. Also, how was the woman that cleaned the statue getting permission to get out of the shelter? Probably because it's Camino, and the statue means a lot for the people there. That's what Stain seems to imply, right, Miguel? Because like he says, she's keeping the peace at the shelter. But yeah, no, like you tell me that girl's coming in and out of the shelter, and that sounds to me like that's a security issue. I'd be very concerned unless she's doing it in like a very structured way. But if she's sneaking out of the shelter, I don't think that's a very secure shelter. Ty said, felt bad for Iron Man when Killmonger killed him. They could have been great friends given their background. Both lost their parents, both went to MIT. Wish this what if was a hero Killmonger. Agreed. Though I do love the idea of like T'Challa from the afterlife being like, brah, you are screwed. But yeah, no, man, like when it comes to Killmonger, it's just like Killmonger is like, I just think he's way too self-destructive for what he ends up doing. He's just way too much. Like he's a little bit too extreme, because I think at some point, right, Tyler, like he wants to kill off his own people as well. Like he doesn't mind using them as weapons of war either. Like as you see, like for me, you know, when we were looking at Killmonger and Killmonger killed like his girlfriend at the beginning or whatever girl was tagging along with him, it's like, oh yeah, I get who this guy is. This guy hates the world altogether. Yeah, man. It was kind of cool to see Killmonger consistent, but at the same time, it was like, I wish you were cooler, Killmonger. Stain's true hero meaning, got to be fully driven, cannot feel guilt or reflect, be similar to All Might, etc. Oh, got to be fully driven. Gotcha, Kayla. So sorry to work with Sucrose, Diona, and Jean since next update shields are going to be almost useless in some places. Oh, okay. Not feeling any of these new series because they're all just about fighting monsters and demons. Deathray, do you want to fight people instead? Is that what you're kind of going towards? So if a hero is homeless, does that make him a true hero because he's just doing it to help people and doing it for nothing else? I think so, Chris. I think so. Jukai doesn't feel like it's going anywhere substantial. Okay, yeah. I love this week's chapter with Class A surrounded the chapter. Notice how Bakugo and Todoroki are both sides of Izuku. Izuku definitely needs a costume upgrade. Oh, are they? You know what I was looking at was the fact that Ida's in that thing. This man, the man that Stain said would never change. And yeah, no, Bakugo and Shoto being around Izuku is pretty like that. It's the power trio, right, Kayla? You get it. It's totally the power trio right there. Where's Invisible Girl? I see her. She's right behind All Might. Alright, yeah, I see her gloves. Where's Ochako? Oh, she's next to Ida. Oh, that's unfortunate that Tsuyu gets like all the way. You know what's funny? Tsuyu's all the way in the back, but someone like Shoji is next to Jiro. That's funny. That's super funny. Oh, wait, Momo's also like really far back there. That's interesting. Like when it comes to the people who are like kinda in the center, it's like Kaminari, Kirishima, you know, the power trio, Ida, Ochako, Jiro, and Shoji. I think I would move Jiro and Shoji out of there, and I would slot in Momo and Tsuyu. Jiro, actually, you know what? Jiro might be the one that's okay to keep there. Maybe slot out Shoji, put in Momo to be a little bit closer as the front line. It's just kind of weird to have them. That's weird placement, man. Tokoyami's also far back there. Like that one's kind of a weird placement when he's the one that's putting in a lot of work otherwise. Jason. Fan translations have Stain saying he killed 40 heroes, up from 17. Either a mistrans or he's working overtime since the escape. Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe I didn't. So Jason, yeah, good on you for catching that. I completely forgot the number that Stain had wrecked. Maybe 40 hero careers. Maybe he'll say maybe ended 40 heroes. Oh, Viz, you're building the national team. Alright, so you're building up Xiangling, getting new artifacts for my Chongyun since I gave his old ones to Rosaria when I got her. Yeah, I was building national team as well, Viz. Let me go outside real quick. Killmonger is basically Dobby if he was smart. Man. But hearing about new style might make me build my gene out as well. I don't got gene, so I gotta... What can I do? Stain doesn't believe heroes deserve a cardboard box to live in. Oh, god damn it. I can see it too. Okay, so White Despair is going with the interpretation of killed being ended hero careers. Tokoyami is there because being in the back is edgy and dark. Yeah. Yeah, when I saw the Tokoyami, he was looking towards the camera. I'm thinking like, alright, like that might actually be appropriate. Let's hope MCU fix Galactus. You mean like the Fantastic Four version of Galactus that came up in that movie? Just give me any Battle Showman that doesn't have to do with exorcism. Well, let's see. Let's see what we got here. If Neru survives, Neru might be just full-on martial arts. Mashal is technically not Battle Show. Oh, Kaiju number 8's out. Sakamoto's pretty good. Sakamoto's been really good for a comedy action. Death Ray. Witch Watch is just supernatural. Yozakura family is... yeah, Death Ray. It's probably Yozakura family. Yozakura family is pretty much like Katekyo Hitman Reborn right now. Like, if there's a manga that's most like Katekyo, it's probably Mission Yozakura family. Black Clover. I don't know about the Battle Shonens and Shonen Magazine though. There's not too many. I mean, you can always go back. You can always read Baki the Grappler, if you want Baki. Let's see what else. World Trigger, when it's doing its simulation battles, is just full on fights. Yeah, maybe Sakamoto Days. I think you would enjoy Sakamoto Days when they're doing their fights. And if you enjoy like Katekyo Hitman Reborn, maybe like Bleach level actually no, they're not Bleach powers. Yeah, Hitman Reborn powers, maybe you can enjoy Mission Yozakura family. I don't know if you're reading those ones already though, Death Ray, so apologies if you are. Let's see. Aoyama still looking sus to AN63. I have mixed feelings with the theory of him possibly being the traitor, but lately he's just been off. I would have really enjoyed seeing Aoyama say something to Izuku, but I don't understand why the author has kept him and... Okay, you know what, actually? Maybe the author is aware of what it looks like. Viz, it looks like I'm in the middle of building national team as well. I guess I'm using the emblem of severed fate. So usually for my builds, there's like a community Genshin team build type document that I always use. So that's why I have these things on Xiangling. Before this I had DPS, I had physical DPS Xiangling. So probably have to go back towards that at some point. Didn't realize she wasn't fully built yet. That is bad on me. I've been using her like whatever. Probably switch out Crescent Pike when I'm actually using her properly. Probably switch over to Dragon's Bane. Anyway, yeah. Once I get national team like out, fully operational, I think it'll be fun. Like I went through Spiral today, and it was pretty fun for that period of time. Let's see. Also hearing Chadwick as the series goes on, you can tell his voice sounds weaker. Seeing him in the Essential Play was emotional. Makes me wonder how the Black Panther 2 movie will deal with this. Yeah, it makes me wonder too. Like, you know, honestly, I wouldn't feel that bad about just a full-on recast of the T'Challa role. I wouldn't feel bad about it personally, and you know, just have like a really just have like really nice messages about Chadwick Boseman in the movie. But I don't see a problem with doing a full-on recast. What do you think, Ty? But yeah, I personally don't think there would be a problem with a full-on recast. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't know how they'll deal with it. Like, I think the quickest thing is to say that Shuri's going to be the one to take the mantle. I think I've heard people say that that's what's happening as well. But I don't know if that was just leaks or rumors. Monma copy Koji quirk, be unstoppable. John, you're always supporting Koda. Always supporting Koda, but fair enough.
Stand clear. Absorption test. Stand clear.
So I'll just do my commissions, guys, and probably maybe just do a quick check at the excuse me. Probably just do a quick thing at Spiral.
Animal test 6308.
Also, I don't know if anyone plays Tales of Arise, but I've now 1 hour into Tales of Arise. Yes, I know. I barely get to play games unless I'm on stream, so it's actually really cool that I'm 1 hour into Tales of Arise. So, I'm enjoying it so far. The localization is pretty bad though for written text. I don't know if anyone else is a fan of Tales series, but yeah, if you're playing Tales of Arise or you have any opinions about Tales in general, let me know. Alright, let's see. Oh, also, today I tried to, for anyone that's playing Honkai, new character came out today and I tried to pull for her and I did not get her. It's sad times, but one day I'll get there. Alright, let's see. All Might has an agency and makes money off people like other heroes Stain don't like. I guess Stain gives a full pass to All Might. Other than his horrible analogy, he's just biased. Oh yeah, definitely, right, Kayla? Like, you look at Stain's face and it's like, yeah, this is the face of a man that's biased. Baki Do lost the charm of Baki, honestly. Is Baki Do the one that's going on right now with the sumo wrestlers? Is that Baki Do? Like, for me, I just follow Baki just because, you know, it's just regular Baki, right? It's just it's just a good time in general. It's just like, alright, Yujiro's just gonna go out violating men all of a sudden again. Alright, yeah, that's cool. Good old Yujiro just doing things all the time. I mean, what else can you really say at this point? Sorry, I'm just looking at Baki real quick here. Ah, yes, Pakido is like the most recent one. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Nice, 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 nice. All right, let's see. So, oh hey Poison, says I think Hagakure is going to be the traitor, and it's going to be unsatisfying unless she is not working alone. Yeah, you know, I still want something relatively out of left field. I really hope it's a teacher. I really hope it's May. I hope, you know what, if you want to say like 5 people are the traitor, if you want to say Izuku's a traitor, again, I'm all for it. I just don't want something basic. Invisible Girl did talk to Izuku about him being mind blown once he finds out what the bear could do. Oh wow, Kayla, wow, yeah, that is true. That's not really a substantial conversation about friendship though. So Stain wants heroes to save death and not live in good conditions. So does Stain want heroes slowly killing themselves and suffer and not to be happy with living? So this means Stain hates heroes. Oh yeah, yeah. If you play any of the exaggeration games with Stain, like you're gonna reach these conclusions where it's like, yeah, Stain, you don't think heroes are human. That's just what it is. Random says he's ready for 86 next month. Me too. I agree. Recast is the best option. Imagine getting rid of Bruce Wayne or Peter Parker. T'Challa as a character has so many stories to be told. I agree. I just, you know what? Heck, you can even do multiverse recast. Like, would that be that bad? No, just say that you brought in a T'Challa from another universe. Heck, man. And you know, I'm always gonna go up to bat for this actor because I really liked him in Luke Cage. But the guy that did Bushmaster in Luke Cage, I know he's not actually Jamaican, but I really liked him. I thought he was really good. I forget his name, but if he got recast, I think that'd be really cool. Actually, I think he did get like a new role. It's just like Bushmaster was so good. And okay, I am a little biased. I did like seeing that there was like a Jamaican character coming into the Marvel universe, and I did like the Hollywood version of Jamaicans in New York. I did like that. I did like seeing that legitimately. It'd be cool if more of the Caribbean shows up in movies. It'd be pretty neat. Ah, there we go. Mustafa Shakir. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, no, I really liked that actor when I saw him. It would just be cool to see him get more roles. It's really because he was portraying a Jamaican. I just thought, okay, it's just okay, so for the guys in America, you got to understand, and unfortunately, I'm pretty basic. I'm super basic when it comes to this because I'm like everyone else from the Caribbean. But when the Caribbean gets mentioned in any kind of big Hollywood thing, it's like, wow. Like whenever an island gets name dropped in a movie, like the entire, if you live on the island, the entire cinema is going to be just happy. They're going to just be cheering. It's going to turn into a wonderful time. Heck, the newspapers will run for like maybe a week or 2 weeks, depending on what other things are going on. It's just a fun time, and it's just a weird little. Unfortunately, I also took away some of that. Now, I thought he was doing a new movie, but I don't really see it here. Oh well. Regardless, I think he would be a cool actor for the... Oh, there he is. Cowboy Bebop. He's on Cowboy Bebop. Oh, shit. Wait, no. Wait. I didn't realize. Oh, yeah, he's doing Jet. Oh, that's great. Good for him. Oh, nice. Well, now I want to see the Cowboy Bebop live action pictures. 1 second, guys. And mind you, it's a Netflix adaptation. It's probably going to be full of drama because drama is easy to... drama is easier to depict. But let me see what he looks like on the... Yeah, good for him. Good for him. This is great. Hopefully that leads into more roles for him. All right, cool. Anyway, a little bit of Caribbean islands, and I lose all critical thinking faculties. Moving on. I think Stain is the type of person that doesn't want the ideal of a heroic figure not tainted by the inherent flaws. Oh, I agree, Miguel. I agree with that. He doesn't want it to be, like you see it in the chapter, right? He doesn't want it to be tainted by All Might's weakness, and the weakness here is the weakness of a human. Jason says, love the 2D Tales games. Tried a few of the 3D ones, never really got into them. Oh, okay, gotcha, Jason. So not Tales of Symphonia, right? Like, because Tales of Symphonia was still had like a 2D kind of battle sequence, right? For me, Jason, I never really got to play the 2D ones. I started Tales on Tales of Abyss. God, I watched too much Shonen and chill. I'm making jokes like them. Ah, excellent speed. I have my Shogun fully built, so I've been using her and team actively now. Currently, I'm running the Luke, Bennett, Shogun, and Diona. Overload isn't the best reaction, but she's good at electro application. Yeah, Viz, that's what my friend Kara is using her for, electro application. He even described All Might as God. God. Oh, Z Killer, you're 48 hours in. So, Z, are you close to the end? Because I saw that it's 35 playtime. And Z Killer, so yeah, I'm 1 hour in. Hopefully, I'll enjoy it. I do know it has a nicer ending than most Tale games, so I'm excited for that. Jason said, looks like Neru is going to get canceled along with Red Hood and Roboco still going strong. Yeah, Roboco is still going strong. They like their comedies. But yeah, Neru right now does, like, you know, I say it's not fully confirmed, but at this point it is. It's just until you see it streak for 4 weeks straight, can you say it's fully confirmed? Um, but yeah, looking at the data here, Red Hood's dead. Next week for sure, Red Hood is dead if it's at the bottom, and then Neru is probably going to be right after, which is unfortunate because I thought Neru was nice. The one that I'm kind of watching right now, just because it's been kind of weird, is Magu-chan. Like that is one that some weeks has just weird behavior. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Magu-chan. But Magu-chan might be one of those ones that reaches a natural ending. But we'll have to see. Magu-chan is also like the reason why I wait for 4 weeks when it comes to looking at the data. Because Magu-chan had streaked in bottom 3 for 2 weeks. Which isn't the clincher, right? You have to wait for it to streak for 4 weeks. But yeah, man. Red Hood and Neru right now look like they're the dead ones. Which will be interesting, because after Neru and Red Hood are dead, it's like, what else do we have? If they don't replace those series quickly, we're going to find out who the next 2 weakest series are. I'm not sure who they would pick here. Might be Magu-chan. Magu-chan might drop after those two are dead. Definitely game of the year. Okay, nice, D-Killer. For sure, he'd be in Black Panther. It happened in the comics for a short time, but the actress playing her doesn't fit the main role for me. I wouldn't mind if the Wakandans pull a Bucky on Killmonger. I wouldn't mind that either. People always seek or believing in something higher than them, but because their fear, their helplessness against the tragedy of the world, and their way to cope is to believe there's something higher that would take care of those things they couldn't do. Very poignant. Ooh, sorry, guys. I bet All For One is spying on them because he has a vestige inside of Nezu without him knowing. Would be an easy explanation for all the leaks. Yep. I mean, we'd have to look at like how exactly he learned of the vestige. We'd have because I think White Despair brought this up, that if we start looking at vestiges, we have to figure out when exactly All For One figured out how the vestiges worked. We have to figure out the timeline. I think White Despair did his research on this though, because I think it was White Despair that talked about this aspect of it. Ochako's rhetoric is the total opposite. Ochako's more like, look, there may be times that heroes can't just do everything, so it'd be nice if you guys help them fill the gaps in their week. Yeah, agreed, Miguel. Agreed. Totally agreed. I'm glad that you see that too. You must have loved Pirates of the Caribbean. Love those movies. Yeah, I loved Pirates of the Caribbean. The only thing was like, it's a little bit different, Ty, because of the history of pirates as they come into the Caribbean. I'm trying to be very careful about this because this is having to do with the culture of a lot of Caribbean islands, but some Caribbean islands there is tension between the natural islanders and the expatriates, or the expats. People that come from abroad and they just like they come in, they bring money into the island. They're usually English or American. They put their kids in private school. They come in, change the culture a little bit. Like there's some natural tension there. So when it comes to Pirates of the Caribbean, like it's cool to hear mentions of the various islands, but most of the time you're dealing with, you're dealing with the Europeans. You're dealing with the people that came into the New World. You're not ever actually really seeing the islanders most times. And when you look at the main Pirates of the Caribbean crew, you don't actually have that many of the natural islanders. Like there's maybe a handful, which is just unfortunate. Like if you look at Luke Cage for the Marvel series, it's a lot cooler because some people actually had the nice Jamaican accent on it. And Luke Cage was really interesting in that it actually showed the way that Black Americans make fun of Jamaicans. And it was interesting to see how the Jamaicans were being made fun of. And we've talked about this before. I have like my thoughts about that. But it ultimately just does. I think like when Luke Cage did it, I think Luke Cage had a much more. It was much more fun. It was much more fun to see that kind of thing and see like that kind of depiction of the relationships between, a dominant group, that being Black Americans, and Jamaicans coming in. It was interesting, and it's one of those interesting things too when you come down and you look at it, is that really in-group and out-group dynamics always form. All that you really need is one majority population. And for a lot of people in the Caribbean, when they're moving into other countries, most times it's going to be New York or England. It's always interesting to see how their ghettos form. And I'm using ghettos in like its most proper definition there, as in just this is where a particular community goes toward when they are in a new country. Like in England, my buddy from back home, he ended up ultimately where almost all the Caribbean people end up. And it's just interesting to see how these kind of groupings form and how they interact with the larger superior group in numbers. I'm trying to be very careful here with my words, just because kind of touchy, because people don't want to think that that certain groups in America that have been historically in the minority can be in the majority when in the context of another group. But again, really interesting. But yeah, Ty, that's like the ultimate thing with Pirates of the Caribbean. In Pirates of the Caribbean, you interestingly invoked more of the island culture with regards to their opinions on expats. So it's not as exciting as more natural depictions. It's not as exciting. That said, always nice to get a name drop. Anyway, have to be very careful. Because not many people understand island politics and island culture, and it's always kind of hard to talk about it. The fact that the most faithful to the OG Cowboy Bebop is the dog. Yo, I remember when Alkali Lake was mentioned in X-Men, the whole theater cheered. Oh wait, sorry, Alkali Lake. There you go. Sorry, Matt. Netflix Cowboy Bebop it's been said to be woke. Well, we'll have to see. Pretty sure Fairy Tail 100 years ago. Oh yeah, no, random. It's been announced. It's getting an anime. The Shogun is crazy scary on a Eula team. Ah, nice. Tales of Abyss had too much loading times with PS2. I also played Symphonia on GameCube. It wasn't that interesting. You should look at the PS2 2D Tales game. Tales of Rebirth? I'm trying to figure out how me and Roboco is still alive. It's a comedy, man, right? Like, sometimes people just want to have a nice time. And it is pretty weak from the opinions I've heard of it. You know what, Speed? Maybe. I haven't thought about it like that. I just kind of enjoyed it as a nice little thing to read. I was just enjoying it. I like the idea of a guy that followed combat manuals, so that's why I was looking at it. Tales of Vesperia is also a nice point of entry for the Tales series. Yo, Miguel, I would say that's the point of entry for Tales, just because that's the one that got a lot of people interested in it when it came to the West. After, well, not counting Symphonia. Pretty much staying one to hero. Jesus, pretty much. At least Shonen Jump Plus is doing well. Yeah, at least. Chip, have you been saving for anything in particular? Are you planning on pulling on Kokomi, or are you going to save for potential anniversary banners? Viz, I've been contemplating this because this is the first time that I've gone in thinking I want this girl, and then I look at what they did to her in the story, and it's like, and then I look at her voice lines, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like, this girl seems dumb. Like, this girl seems very dumb. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've never actually had a character's story bother me this much. It's just like I heard some of her voice lines, and Kara and I were making fun of it, and it's like, oh, we will win by minimizing casualties, and I'm just thinking like, duh. Obviously, if you're gonna fight, you minimize your casualties, you crazy person. And it's just like, you know, I have a whole rant about Kokomi here. Like, Kokomi is the conflict between being told what a character is supposed to be and then failing to execute on the character in real time. It's like, and this is unfortunate because Genshin's story also for 2.1 it relies on incompetency. So it sucks for Kokomi because you're being told she's this super smart person, but then when you see it in practice, it's like, this girl's stupid. The one time she shows up, it's to make a mistake. Yeah, no, man. Like, when I look at Kokomi, it's just like she's like what someone thinks a smart person should be, but really it's common sense. Honestly, if they were gonna give Kokomi some lines, they should have just flat out plagiarized the Art of War, because at least the Art of War is written in such flowery language that at least the normies won't be able to figure out what the Art of War is saying. Or heck, take 36 stratagems. You could have copied a lot of different things here, but honestly, yeah, Kokomi, I don't know, man. Like, her depiction in game is just not great for me, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I'm not. I have to see more of her lines. Like, I've never been this put off after thinking I wanted a character. But yeah, that's my answer, Viz. Disney announced the next pirate movie. Everyone better have Johnny Depp in it or we ain't watching. Yeah, I've seen that reaction. See ya, Matt. So All Might and Deku. Oh, wait, hey, Leela. Are the only two heroes according to Stain? Why? Is it All Might rich? Have merchandise, have an agency, does talk shows? Should Stain like Eraser better? Oh yeah, no, he probably should have liked Aizawa better. Because Aizawa was more to... He's got his ear on the ground. Yeah, nah, Leela. But we've been talking, Leela, like, Stain's just a hypocrite. And Ty said, I can understand that way of thinking with Pirates of the Caribbean. Never thought of that before. Yeah, Ty, it's just, it's island politics, right? It's just like the kind of things that pop up on an island. Like, you know, everyone likes Pirates on the island. Everyone likes Pirates of the Caribbean, but you know, it's mostly foreigners. But again, to Pirates' credit, right? The people that were rampaging in the Caribbean were foreigners. A lot of them were people who were employed by the various navies of the land, right? So naturally they would be foreigners. So it's not an issue of like inaccurate depictions in this regard. It's just like it doesn't get people excited the same way. Let's see. Mega Green Kirby, where's your comment here? Oh, you said Netflix Cowboy Bebop is going to be woke. It said to be woke. Yeah, I said like, we'll have to see. Let's see. I don't recall exactly, but I wasn't impressed with the Luke Cage impression of Jamaica. To be honest, Holiday always gets it wrong, or they use the worst stereotypes. Holiday. What's Holiday? Oh, Hollywood. Hollywood. Not Holiday. Nah, like, for me, Jason, my thing was... Like, some of the accents are, like, whatever. But, like, honestly, like, Jamaican Americans, their accent sort of goes away a little bit. When it came to the Jamaicans and Luke Cage, like, that was one of the better ones. Well... That was one of the better ones that I'd seen in recent years that I personally really enjoyed. And for me, it's more of a situation of like, it's been a while since I heard any of the words that are in the Jamaican vernacular pop up. Like, I'm trying to remember which one they had, because it was funny because they had Luke making a comment about it. Was it ratted or was it crass rat's ass? Nah. Like they had one of the words that it's just when I heard it, when I heard some of the words, like, oh, nostalgia. Because at that point, I'd been out of the islands for like what, 5 years or so. So I had a little bit more of a nostalgic thing for it. Like I don't really care about the accent, because like honestly, sometimes I can't follow the thickest Jamaican patois. But the words themselves, I think it must have been ratted. Like, let me think. It's another one. Damn it. Damn it. It was such a good moment. I can't remember the name. Or I can't remember the word. Oh, okay, you know what, Jason? I'm gonna rewatch Luke Cage just to see if I can find that word. But yeah, no, I take what I can get. That was probably one of the better depictions. Well, that was probably one of the better things was gonna be one of the better things I got from Hollywood for that year when it came to Caribbean stuff. Trying to think. In terms of the stereotypes on it, I don't know too much about the American Jamaicans. Yeah, I can't really remember too much from that time anymore either. It's gone. I've forgotten too much, Jason. I can't believe I forgot the word that they used. I have to go back and look through all the Jamaican words. Ah, dang it. Oh, wait. I think I almost had it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, dang. Come on. It's such a wonderful word. I can see Luke's face when he was repeating the word because he didn't know what it meant. Ah, no, it's gone. Damn it. It was a good one. Anyway, if we're talking about pirate movies, Black Sails was an amazing TV series. Too bad it's underrated. Kokomi is full support and nothing else. I think Kokomi is just slightly above average, and that's already more than the common Genshin World citizen, excluding people with visions. Been planning to skip Kokomi for a while because I've seen rumors of what the next banners are for the anniversary, and even if one is true, I need to have the resources for them. Kokomi makes Goro look worse. Imagine hyping this woman that got easily tricked by a totally not shady sponsor and doesn't even get to appear in the final act. The one before that. Okay, let me see. Kirby. You said hey, and then you only said hey Mega, and then you said Netflix Cowboy Bebop. I don't see you anywhere else here. I wonder how many are already downplay World End Harem. We'll have to see. I like how many are already downplaying World End Harem. Yep. Sorry, I said I said the wrong thing there. Yes. I hope they fix the hand-to-hand combat for the next Black Panther. It was the only thing I had an issue with. Black Panther is easily top 5 best martial artist. I'm laughing at how you pronounce that word, ratted. By the way, I'm Jamaican. Ah, excellent, Jason, I didn't know. Excellent. So you know better than I do. And sorry, man, because I'm not Jamaican and I'm not from Jamaica. So my words might be a little bit out of... they might be out of style. But no, Jason, then you can help me. Help me figure out what word they used. Oh, this is so much more exciting. This is so much more exciting because now Jason knows all the patois that I don't know. And again, I don't know the patois. Did I get the right word for that one, Jason? Because I'm trying to remember from when I was in school, but like I haven't been using any of the Islander words ever since I got into university up here, or ever since I came to Canada. So I've definitely lost... Well, I never had the accent in the first place, and now I definitely lost it. Oh, but now I'm excited. Jason, you should have told me... Wait, Jason, didn't you tell me this from the beginning? No, because it was like... It was Tiandre going rogue. There was another person that we had. It was from the Caribbean. Oh, this is the best day, though. Oh, Viz! Oh, this is excellent. Okay, great. I have absolutely no accent, but I understand patois extremely well for someone who speaks extremely American. Oh, I feel that, Viz. Now, Viz, unfortunately for me, I don't understand the patois really well when it goes... You found season 2 pretty cringe. Okay, ratted is a word. Okay, good. So I am remembering it correctly. I'm just trying to remember what one of the older Jamaicans had said. I just want to remember the word, man. But Viz, I didn't know. But going back to your struggle... yeah, I speak like extremely white by Islander standards, but I didn't understand the patois very well because the Jamaicans were a community within my island that I lived on, but I didn't really have that many direct family that were Jamaican, so I was mostly dealing with my. I'm trying to be very careful with the island name. I was mostly dealing with the islanders from the island I lived on. You most likely remember after stream, maybe in the middle of the night. Oh, yo, Chris, you're right. I probably will. Anyway, I gotta figure out that other word, man. I don't think it was the one that I think it is. Anyway, this is a good day for me, guys. I always love it when I find more people from the Caribbean. You know, one thing I always found interesting too was like back in the day, back when it was still like just people like for Neverworld and them on anime YouTube. Back in the day when like for Neverworld and King of Lightning were the ones that had their big fights, there were quite a few people from the Caribbean that had anime manga YouTube channels. It was pretty interesting back in those early years. Anyway, this guy's having his moment here. Okay, so this guy just wants me to continue forwarding a lie. That's cool. Anyway, I got too excited. Mega, sometimes the comments don't come in, and that might be what's happening here. Can you rewrite it? Because I don't see anything here. Sometimes it happens, Mega, like it just doesn't come through. But I got too excited here with Viz, so let me just go back here. Apparently China wants to ban male characters to look feminine, like, oh, nice. I did, it was just after, let's see, how far are your opinions with slime? Right, Miguel, so so this was before you arrived, I believe. But I caught up with it. And ultimately, yeah, I think it's interesting, Miguel, because the adaptation is a one book to one season adaptation, which I've only seen done 2 times before. So that was interesting to have it there. And like I think it's a really, I think the beginning is way too slow and the fight scenes are way too fast. That would probably be my most critical opinion. And then, you know, they do other things. Like it's interesting because they spend so much time expanding on the talking. And it's pretty funny when you're watching the anime and they're like, okay, guys, we're having our meeting. Okay, guys, we're pausing our meeting. Okay, guys, we're back to the meeting. Okay, guys, interruption. Okay, guys, back to the meeting. I found that to be quite tiring. But like, it's a little bit different when you're reading it all in one go. So yeah, the slime anime, it expands weird spots and then doesn't expand on the fights, because ultimately like a lot of the power explanation is gone, and it just, like when I was watching the Shuna episode, I just thought like this was really resolved very quickly, and I feel like we could have lingered on this a little bit more. It's stuff like that, Miguel. I think like in terms of the adaptation, they 100% expanded on the slow parts because they wanted to animate less things. You know, that's kind of my opinion on it. Anyway, Jason found season 2 pretty cringe. I don't remember if I found it cringe. Like there were maybe a few spots that I felt like, but I don't know too much else, Jason. You most likely remember. Okay, got that. Thoughts on the 2 islands trip? Random, you're saying the 2 new islands in 2.1. Like which islands are you referring to? You hear about China's 3-hour week gaming rules for people under 18? That's crazy. You couldn't live like that. Well, the thing is, Ty, they already had regulations before this one. Like this one right now is just a like this is just an escalation of it. Like I think before they had slightly better hours. Like this is nothing new, honestly. And honestly, Ty, from the perspective of global domination, this unfortunately makes China significantly stronger. And like, I know people are gonna say like, oh, but think of the kids. They need to have an escape. They need to go and they need to be able to play games online. And again, this is online games, and I'm like, brah, they can just go read. Give your kid a book. This was the original escape for people. It's go read your books. And as far as we know, China has quite a diverse lineup of very pro-nationalistic books. So I think they'll be okay. Like, at the end of the day, China just made their country stronger. Viz says, my mom would sometimes complain about how I went to China. Oh, sorry, not China. Went to Jamaica for a summer when I was younger, but came back completely unaffected by my speech. Jason goes in saying 2 months in Jamaica wouldn't change your speech, though. Well, you know, some people do pick up pretty easy, though, Jason. Like, some people pick up accents, like, within a week or two. But I think because some people are just a little bit more suited to that kind of pickup. But yeah, no. I don't, my accent didn't really change too much. I was actually really surprised to find out I had any kind of an Islander accent when I came to, Canada. And people kept making fun of me because they kept saying people kept saying that I said my man as Mon, like, hey Mon, and I'm like thinking, nah, there's no way that I actually speak that Islander because I get made fun of for not speaking Islander. But I had gotten it for so much that it was just like, all right, like after the first month, after like, yeah, probably the first month of having it pointed out, I started saying man, and I started pronouncing that a little bit more to make it fit in more with the Canadians. And then I just because I didn't want to deal with it anymore, I just started copying a lot of the ways they pronounce a lot of their signature words, or like a lot of the basic words. So I did that, and now here I am. I never would have known that I had an Islander accent had they not started making fun of me for saying mon. People also made fun of me for saying brudda a lot, and I wasn't exactly happy about that. Don't know why they have such an issue with that. So I took that one out of my vocabulary, and brudda man as well. But I can't even say it properly anymore. But such is life. Probably get it back if I go back home for a little bit. What anime releasing in 2022 are you most excited for? One second. I'm just opening it up here.
Wanna come over for tea?
Probably Mashuko Tensei. That's probably the one I'm looking at. I gotta say though, in terms of Islander accents, my Spanish has a very Cuban accent. Like, I have a heavy Cuban accent, and that's mostly because I didn't get to hear other people speaking Spanish around me. It was only ever Cubans, and that's already bad enough because my Spanish isn't well developed.
Silly churl,
Yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking, oh, I didn't know that Kimetsu was having its second season. But okay, yeah, probably 86, and probably Platinum End and Mashuko Tensei. I don't see anything else here that's really getting my attention. That's probably it. I wouldn't, but I think she meant even a little. I came back without picking up any type of speech quirk, and I think that's what she points out. That makes sense to me. To me, the thing between All Might and Stain sounds more like a test, kind of one of those damned if you do, damn kind. Yeah, I would agree with you, Kenneth. It's just because, like, to me, I see it like a paradox. All Might, if he's going to be the best hero, he's not going to do that. 2022 anime I'm looking forward to is Shield Hero. 2 new islands added to. Oh, okay. I think the lightning one is quite nice. I enjoy it. I feel like I'm at the end of the world with it. Maybe you were on the extremely thin line where it sounds odd to both. Yeah, probably, Viz. Probably. So Jason, I left Cuba like really early on because my mom was terrified of raising me Cuban. But then I went back for summers. So like, yeah, I went back for a good portion in the summer, like a month or two maybe most times. Actually, maybe probably went back to Cuba like maybe 4 times a year up until maybe high school. Because then when high school, I just kind of stopped and just had to focus a little bit more on school. So I didn't live in Cuba very long, but there was like there's a pretty prominent Cuban community on the nearby islands, so that's why I was around Cubans all the time. And of course, my grandma wanted me to like keep my Spanish, but I kind of lost it. And Kenneth, nah, I'm like in the west. I'm not gonna say where in the west, but I'm just like, kind of like, yeah, I think on my directions, right? It's like westward. Funnily enough, some people against which Paimon talks less and less and that Travelers spoke more. I agree. I'm curious how they're going to do Season 6. There's going to be a lot of censorship unless they change the time slot. The Merkel fight especially. Well, Ty, how do you feel about the current depiction of Shigaraki stuff? Like, I thought Shigaraki stuff was pretty fair with how they showed the puddles of blood and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really mind it. But then again, there's that whole thing about Shigaraki's hand right now, right? Which I need to go and take a closer look at.
To oblivion.
Bombaclat? No, it wasn't Bombaclat. No, it wasn't that. Ah, dang it. That's not the one. Sorry, trying to figure out the word.
Stand clear. Absorption test.
Didn't know there was a treasure chest down there. That's good though.
What a cute
Anyway,
treasure coffin.
let's see. I'm curious how they're going to do My Hero Academia Season 6. There's going to be a lot of censorship unless they change the time slot. His fingers just look purple and broken. Oh, well that's dumb. And sorry, Jason. I know what you're laughing about. I am sorry that my accent is completely broken. I've never been good at speaking with Jamaicans. And I'm fully proud to admit it. This is why I was made fun of on that island. Yeah, man. I like this kind of main character mechanic like SAO where you can choose to be a canonical main character, or if you decide to customize characters, just use a blank pronoun. Oh yeah, the thing that the thing that the video games do. Yes, I thought that's a pretty neat mechanic.
There is no escape. Stand clear. Absorption
Oh, you know
test.
what? Speaking of people that could do that could pick up people's accents better, my sister's much better at it. Like she got all the intelligence when it comes, or all the ability when it comes to speaking ability. Like she can get like she can get down everyone's accents pretty well after a little bit. She's a much better mimicker than I am for sure. Like, you know, my sister kind of made it a little bit more, she made it a little bit, like in some ways she made it a little bit worse for me, just because she was able to speak the way my cousins could speak, and then it made me kind of stand out more kind of thing, because now it's like, well, she could pick it up, why can't you pick up the way we speak? And it's like, well, I don't know. Jason. I feel like I can feel my Islander credentials going away now. I've lost it. What did Bambaclat wrong with you, man? You chat bad. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Okay, so daily commissions over there. Let's see. Like if you decide to use... Like if you decide to use the canonical Aether Lumen characters, would call you that, or you can customize it, but they just refer to you as Traveler. I agree. Yeah. Let's see. The censorship has been a mixed bag for me. Shigaraki backstory surprised me, but his fingers just being broken is disappointing. What really annoyed me were skipping parts like Redestro and Spinner. Yeah. And then... Oh, Jason, you don't speak patois very often, but you understand it. I wish I could. Just like when the Jamaicans are really speaking fast, I could never pick up on it. So it was a little bit harder. And of course, like when you have to ask a student that's in your same age group to slow down because you don't understand, even though you lived on the island for years, it's like, well, that kind of sucks. That's gonna be like, that's an easy target right there. Let's see. Ah, cool. I think I gotta burn through my... Well, actually, what should we do? Probably just go over here real quick. Oh! I went for very long today. Let's see. And then Ty was asking what Bumbleclap means. And then Sarge was saying he's surprised he understood that. Well, great. You know, for me, it was kind of weird. Because, I don't know. It's always hard to tell where exactly the words come from when it comes to the different islands. But I remember there was one time, because there's Bumbleclot and then there's Bloodclot. And I didn't know that one was interesting because there was one day that one of our teachers, she got really upset about the boys using that particular word for blood clot. And I always thought that it meant like flat out like a blood clot. Like flat out, like just when your blood clots. Like that's what I thought. But then she went in and she told us that no, you're saying blood cloth. And a blood cloth was specifically something having to do with women and their time of the month. Like you can figure it out. And that's why she had, that was why she had taken offense to all the boys always saying that as the go-to word of surprise. So, I like that Jason is saying it's a sentence enhancer. But yeah, no, that's, I'm only talking about the other one that's adjacent to that. But yeah, that's actually probably the best way to say it. Yeah, blood clot was probably a sentence enhancer as well. I didn't know it was a curse word though. Like I did not know that at all, Jason. So that's good information for me. I went to majority black school my whole life, so I tend to understand when I hear Jamaican speak. Ah, nice. A lot more talented than I am, Sarge. That's for sure.
With the wind. Go.
Even being around them my entire life still is such a struggle.
Shudder. I must leave no stone unturned, as a good knight should. Yeah, I'll catch up. Yeah.
Alright, let's see.
Ooh,
Okay, so I guess tomorrow is like the official release date for the chapter. What do you guys think is going to happen on the next chapter of Hero Academia? What do you think we're going to be doing next? Because like right now, it looks like this is going to be set up towards going after All for One, maybe? It just seems like we're going to go towards a slower period where we kind of maybe gather our forces. And once we gather the forces, we maybe do an attack or something like that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we spent some time gathering forces up, right? Jason, it's wonderful to act. I'm having a blast. As much as I'm a joke here, I am quite having a blast just because this is nice. This is really nice. It feels really nostalgic. But yeah. So Bloodclad is universal, but it's not as popular as Bombo. This is universal type. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like I heard Bloodclad more often back home than I heard the other one. But maybe that was because it was if it was a curse word, then I could see why people would use it less. Otherwise. Yeah, trying to decipher this is gonna be tough. But Jason, thank you so much for being here and talking with me, man. I really appreciate it. Now let's see. I don't think I missed any other comments here. At the same time, I don't know how bad the delay is for you guys either. But hopefully I'll see more comments in a quick second.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Let me think. Are there any other things worth pointing out? I don't know if Jason was here when I was talking about it, but Jujutsu Kai's chapter this week looks very strange. Just because it's another like weird setup chapter of a random that we don't really know, and it's like, why? Let's see. Oh, good. Here we go. Everyone's comments are coming in now. Okay.
Crush. More speed. Time to clean up.
Yo, Kirby, I have not seen your comments at all, man. You must have a really negative word in that comment, man. Because, like, I'm looking back at everyone here, and there is no Mega Green Kirby. Like, the last time I saw you write something, those two things are a bit older. I've heard it a few weeks ago. That's the last thing I see from you on my chat screen. So you're probably getting censored by YouTube, but I don't know what exactly YouTube's censoring on your side. Oh, wait, no, what am I doing?
For mercy.
All right, cool. Okay. That said, it is much later than I thought it would be. But we're having so much fun. Okay, let's see here. Thank you, Jason. Have a good night, man. Let's see. I wonder if the lady at the statue will see All Might and confirm him to Stain. Oh, Kenneth. I'm sure that Stain knows that's actually All Might. I'm sure that Stain knows. I feel All Might's about to do something stupid. All For One intercepts international heroes and either takes their quirks or turns them into Nomu. Holy crap, man. That is crazy. I feel All Might's about to do something stupid. All For One intercepts international... Oh, wait, I got that. Trip, I randomly came across a Genshin video that had Aether talking with Eula, but it was voiced over with Six and Snow from Combatants Will Be Dispatched. That sounds funny. Okay, Mega, I see the stuff. And then Jason's out. I've been more of a Kodansha fan because I like fantasy the most. And there's a lot of series coming out of nowhere with anime I've never heard of. Alright, alright. I'm going to try something. Okay, let's hope no one... Yep, so let's see. AN63, I want All Might to go back and give the others the information. Talk to Izuku. Also more about Izuku's thoughts about what happened. An update on the villains would be nice too. Agreed. Oh, have you read this stuff on Discord and what you thought? Okay, let me see. Because recently my phone's been having trouble here, Mega, so I haven't been seeing Discord notifications. So let me just very quickly open it up. Let's see. Where are you, man? Ah, here you are. So, you're talking about so Kirby, I'm just honestly I don't know. Yeah, no man, I have not seen that comment from you earlier, so I'll just read this here. Kizuna used the slave label without Naofumi saying, and also they went and stayed on the hourglass for the fight while Lark and Therese are fighting another group in the light novel had them leave glass in the hourglass and then go to the castle, and also everyone is using a fake copy hero weapon. On light novel there was only one spear Naginata. Like at one point in time, they're changing too much, taking too many liberties, unless they already plan to go a separate way that stays just close enough. Well, that's interesting. You must be talking about the manga right now, right? I'll have to. I haven't read the manga in a while, so I'll have to take a look at that, man. Oh, Black Clover Pole. Nice. Nice for you. Good for Yami. Alright, cool. Gotcha, Mega Green Kirby. I got you now. I think Stain told that to All Might because if the woman heard him, she would have lost hope. Yeah, you know what? I would agree. I would agree there, Miguel. I would agree. Like if she had heard, well, she might have also been there to pick All Might up. She might have gone in and might have said like, "Hey, no, like you did your best." Like we could hope that she would be nice to All Might in that regard. All right, guys. Let's start calling it. It's like 11:10 my time, so let's start calling it there. Thank you all for being here. It was a blast, a wonderful time. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back on Tuesday, and hopefully I'll have a Hero Academia video up tomorrow for the chapter tomorrow. I don't know how long it'll be because it kind of will depend on how well I can speak. But yeah. Oh, Ty says, imagine the students and teachers fighting Nomu. Heroes also think of the reason the international heroes are taking so long. Everyone probably already got them and is waiting for the Nomu. It's funny, Ty, because like the reason that they've told us so far is that the international heroes were caught up behind paperwork. But okay, good night to Ty, good night to Sarge, good night to Random, Mark, and Deathray. Good night to Miguel, Mega Green Kirby, Jason's gone, Kenneth. There's 14 more people here. Viz. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for putting up with me. And yeah, I hope you have a good night. Till next time, everyone. Ending the stream. Oh, good night, Speed. Oh, and AN683. Ending the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Till next time, everybody.